Hello there and welcome back to the colony with Man of the Antz, playing some more Empires of the Undergrowth today. So there are a couple of comments from last week, so we'll look at those, or last time round, so as it was roughly a week ago. So Lord of River Buffalo pointed out that you can build the bigger hexagonal chambers, doesn't have to be the seven square chambers like I've been doing the hexagonal ones. You can make slightly bigger ones if you make them bigger on one side, 19 tiles. As I replied to him, I do intend on doing that in the video. It's just that we didn't get very far last time, so I leave enough space around to expand into the larger hexagons when we get there, but I don't want to do it straight away, so we've got room to upgrade the existing tiles before we do that. Don't Ask, a user called Don't Ask, or a viewer called Don't Ask I should say, said you don't need to be so picky about the shape of the chambers. Hexagonal is just a suggestion rather than a rule. That's entirely correct, and as you'll have seen on my actual Formicarium, I didn't really follow that rule very well to start with. But as it is supposed to be the most efficient way of building a chamber, I do tend to stick to it. It makes most sense. Ants are very efficient creatures, so if there's a most efficient way of building a chamber, I suspect ants would probably stick to it in general, so that's kind of why I do it. But yeah, it's a fair point, you don't have to do that, particularly on modes where you're probably not going to be having a huge amount of long-term growth, so not that big of an issue. And of course, Yamodaz was also there as well with a couple of comments as well, saying that he was a little bit ill at one point, so hope you're feeling better, Yamodaz. Am I pronouncing that even close to being right? Let's have a look. Yemaro does. That's close. Sorry, Yemaro. I might just call you Yemaro. I haven't been too sure what I can shorten it to. I might just call you Yemaro, I think. Yeah, cool. So, last time, what did we do? Last time we had a go at free play. We had a go at the Towhead map, and quite frankly, we sucked. Quite frankly, it did not go very well at all. I think we were very unlucky with our starting location and the creatures we had around us, but we really struggled to get a foothold in there, didn't we? So I thought what we'll do this time, as we haven't done it yet, is we'll have a look at the alpha demo levels. Something we've not done before, something we've looked at and toyed with the idea of doing in the past. But I thought we'd do that. I thought it'd be interesting to see what sort of stuff they got coming in the future. And more than anything, if they're alpha demos, that kind of suggests the developers are going to maybe use any feedback from it to improve the levels or work on any issues with them. So I thought it might be a nice way of sort of giving something back to Slug Disco as well by working on the levels and seeing how it goes. So I completely didn't even look at what that one was called. I just clicked it. I don't know. I'm sure you can all go back and have a look at the menu and figure it out, because I didn't pay enough attention. So here we have a map which is open in places, not so open in other places. We need to kill all nearby creatures. Some of these areas, they're quite heavily infested. Different music I'm noticing straight away, which is quite unusual. Quite like that, to be honest. And what have we got? We've got the Black Antz and the nursery ants. Okay, so first of all then, let's go and grab this food here, shall we, guys? May as well. I was going to build a little hexagonal chamber there, but don't really need to because I know there's food there, so let's get that. Okay. The music's kind of freaking me out a bit, I'll be honest. So let's build a chamber there. I might make these two here food chambers, as they're already there and they're already a bit weirdly shaped. And then we'll turn this into... I guess we'll do black ants. We've got plenty of food around, haven't we? So I think that would make most sense. And then what's the smallest one? This one? So we could do that one from there, couldn't we? So let's do that. That'll help with our immediate food store problem. Send this dude up there to grab that food. And then we'll make some more black ants down here. So I wonder what's going to be interesting about this level then, or if it's a sort of a setup for a level where they're going to throw some new enemies in as part of the new update or something. That's what I'm wondering. So I'm not going to worry about necessarily building a bigger chamber for the moment, unless I just build one big one down here maybe. And then we use that as a... So let's just think. And then it'd be... Oh, I got myself confused, didn't I? Is that right? I'm not sure. I think I might have messed up. Try that again. Right, let's just go from the top, go all the way around. Yeah, I did have that right. Okay, let's start you guys hollowing that one out. We'll make that a second blackout one, and we make a nursery one in a second. I don't think that's going to cause any issues with breaking into these couple of chambers over here. The music's kind of freaked me out a little bit, to be honest. Alright, let's make a little path down there. Oh, it didn't break through. I was not expecting that. Thought it would. Still hasn't. I actually have to excavate the food. It doesn't just open up a chamber. Okay. In that case... So that's one. And then if we go all around again... That'd be our second large chamber. Okay, so we've got 2 large chambers and 1 small blackout one there at the moment. This music is freaking me out. It's also quite loud in my ears, as the game does tend to be, so I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Let's make some food storage up there. And I guess we'll do that, join those 2 up. Go up there. Go along there. Trying to get all this free food that we can before we go anywhere else. Actually, the music is quite loud and almost distracting because it's different. Don't do that if that doesn't... Oh, you've done it. But I like that... Oh, hello. Where have you come from? Ah, because you opened up this and that went all the way down there. I see. I like the fact that it's obviously just a new take on the existing theme music. That's quite nice. Food stores are full. Okay, let's make... Do we want a second nursery? When do we want to... Let's just work on the black ants, I guess. So right in the middle to start with. We shall upgrade one of our food stores so we can hold a bit. In fact, we might as well upgrade what we can on both of them. Get that done. We can send the ones down there to clear that out from food. Add that to the same group. Got some more food over there and a little bit more there we can grab. Where else is there free food? There's a whole bunch up there. Not too many enemies if it does kick something up. Off, even, up, off. Same difference, right? Same thing. There's a bit more there, so we'll grab that as well. But if we make that a second group, you can go over there and grab that stuff, can't you? And there's a bit more down there as well, look. Where did I start? Here it is. So I think that's empty down there now, is it? Looks like it. So if the ones can go and get that little bit of stuff. And if we come across here, take a chamber up there. And then we'll do that corner over there. The ones done there, the ones are done, so the ones can go up there. 2 should be flying through this now. There's supposed to be 9 of them. You thought they'd be smashing through it. Smashing through it. What I do quite like about this one is it's opening up these quite unusual shaped chambers. So if you're playing it for a while, you kind of be forced to use those rather than using the hexagonal ones. So kind of going on from what Don't Ask was saying. So I quite like that. Alright, so that one's almost done now. That's a pretty big chamber there. So there must be a lot of food there. The twos are taking ages to get through it all, aren't they? Right, so we'll just wait for them to fall that and that. Wait for those to finish that lot off, and then we can work towards getting these bits over here. And then I think we'll work on getting another nursery. Is it worth getting? Yeah, I think we will need some more nursery ones, just because we've got so many. Do we need a full 19 nursery though? Or shall we just make another small nursery chamber? Or even use one of what have we got up here? It's a bit big really, isn't it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, so it's almost as big as the huge ones anyway. Not sure I need that many. But maybe we'll do that. There is already like a chamber there, so maybe we'll use that up then. Right, so the 2s and the 1s are all done. We have this huge chamber down here, which I'm loving. Let's start that going. Let's add those guys together for the moment, just so that we can get them all over here as quick as possible. Just in case there shouldn't be anything nasty hiding in there. But just to be sure. Yeah, I like the song. It's very dramatic. Don't do that one. Yeah, see, look how much that's opened up there, look. I like that. I guess that's what kind of they had in mind for level. That's what they wanted to sort of test out and sort of see how it would work. See, that's quite a nice little chamber there. You can make that into something. Put a couple of speed tiles either side. I wonder if they'll do a level at some point where you essentially invade someone else's nest, take them out, and then use their nest chamber. I wonder if that'll be something in the future. Let's get rid of the 2's waypoint marker there. Waypoint's the wrong word. Pheromone marker. Alright, that's all of those done. So that's going to be quite a sizable little army of nursery workers. We could put a speed tile there. We can also do these ones over here. These ones here as well. And some at the entrance and exit to the food. Now, at some point, this is going to backfire and we're going to have loads of enemies to deal with. And we are running out of free food now as well, aren't we? We are down to the protected. This one's the one that worries me the most. That looks like it's going to be horrible. I might even make another path down from the other side. I suppose you've got to squeeze through this entrance anyway, they don't use, so maybe that wouldn't make any difference whatsoever. Right, everyone. Oh! Turn off your food, turn off your foraging, you can go get those guys. You should absolutely smash them into the ground. Good job. Now you can go get food. Yeah, see, I like the fact that you do inadvertently unleash these enemies by just getting to the food sources. That's quite nice. Also quite nice. Right, let's get some more... I am very worried about that bottom corner. I don't know if we're going to manage to fill this one up completely, whether we'll have enough to do that. Enough food, that is, of course. Well, I guess we'll find out. There does look like there's a fair bit of food up in that top left corner as well, so... fingers crossed. A little bit down there as well. Got a lot of food coming in. So I think we definitely will finish off as a bit. I didn't think we would, you know. I did not think we would. So let's make the speed tiles for this chamber. I don't know if I've ever had a chamber with 4 exits to it before. Try to keep them as exitless as possible, but not really any reason when you can make the speed tiles so you can do the upgrades anyway. So I guess the food up there has ran out. It has indeed. So... We will wait for the rest of this brood up here to arrive, and also, in fact, we'll stick those in there as well. There's another 15 to come. I won't make those last 4 quite yet. We've got enough food to do it, but we want to save that in case we do lose a few soldiers in the upcoming battle. So I think we've probably got a nice little army gathering there now. So we shall wait. Where are you guys going? Where are you guys going? I just told you to go through there. Did you just come down here and then wander all the way back up again? Is that what happened? So there's only one little larvae, beetle, whatever they are. It escapes me for the moment. Let's turn off their food gathering again for a minute. The ones that have got some food will run it back anyway, but that's fine. I just want to get this whole area opened up first, and then worry about getting all the food back. Yeah, it's only one little one again, so we should be okay there as well. Let's turn on their food gathering again. So you guys can go and get all of that food for me. Let's finish off this chamber down here. I don't think we'll need any more ants on the level. I think we'll be okay. So anything else we need to do now, we'll just upgrade our existing chambers. Starting with this little one over here. So you should probably clear that out pretty quickly based on your numbers. So what's going to come next, eh lads? What's going to come next? So that's all of the food there. So I think we will come over here next. So we'll start bringing the army down here. Probably get there just as the nursery workers start to actually break through. And just to clarify really, the reason I built more nursery workers, I don't think I ever really justified why, was because we've got so many nest chambers now and so many eggs to look after. You need a number of nursery workers to actually move the eggs back and forth to the queen. But when you're under attack, particularly, obviously right now it's not as important, but when you're losing a lot of eggs and they're hatching quite rapidly, you need the nursery workers to get out there and ferry the eggs from the queen over to the chambers. And something I haven't actually mentioned for a while, I thought I should probably update you guys on my own ant colony. My own ant colony. Not a huge amount of news. If any of you guys are ant keepers as well, you're probably well aware, but it is winter here in the UK now, so currently my existing ant colony, or colonies? Well, no, colony. I've got one colony and I've got 2 other queens I caught. The 2 other queens that I caught during the end of summer, they did lay, but the eggs never hatched, and they've all gone into hibernation mode now. So what happens is when it gets a bit colder, even if you leave your room fairly warm, the ants tend to regardless go into a hibernation mode where they basically just stop moving. They stop moving, they conserve their energy. Any existing eggs or larvae just don't hatch. They don't die, they just don't hatch. So they'll be kept now until next year when they... oh, there's another sneaky one in the corner there. So around March, when it gets to spring and it starts to warm up a bit, they'll start getting a little bit more active. They'll start... I need to upgrade more stuff, aren't I? They'll start hatching the eggs, they'll start feeding more. But for now, my ants have been packaged up into a box. A little bit of paper around it, just for a little bit of warmth, just when it does get a bit chilly, and I put that in the garage then. I'm a little concerned, because it does get quite cold here, and it is just a garage. But I don't really have anywhere suitable to do it. The only other option that I've seen around is to buy a small under-the-desk sort of those little sort of drinks fridges you can get, sort of the ones that are about, I don't know, like 2 feet tall sort of thing. Keep your ants in there if you keep that in a nice low setting, but yeah, hopefully they'll be okay in the garage. That's why I put a little bit of paper around them for a little bit of insulation, not enough to keep them warm, because as I say, you want to try and keep them at a relatively cool winter temperature. You've got to imagine in the wild, even though it's very cold outside, they're obviously burrowed underground, so they don't feel the very harsh cold temperatures. It gets cold, but not cold enough for them to freeze. So that's what you want to try and emulate, I guess. That's the idea of putting them in the garage. Lofts are also an option, but I do want to do some work in the loft this year at some point, so it wasn't entirely suitable to put them there because I'd have to move them around. There might be a bit of banging. I didn't want to disturb them when they're sleeping. Don't have to feed them, they have to have a water supply, but they're all in little test tube setup still, so that shouldn't be a problem for my colonies. You don't have to feed them, but you can give them a little bit of honey just to keep them going. So if they do wake up and they do go wandering a bit, if it does warm up a bit, they do have a little something there to keep them going. But not a massive concern, so yeah. So very little news going to be coming from my ants until March now. Unless something horrible does happen, which, you know, I'm fingers crossed it doesn't. We'll have to see how it goes. If it does get very, very cold, I don't know what I'm going to do. If we have a very bitter cold snap, we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it, I guess. If any of you guys are ant keepers and you do have any advice for me, feel free to let me know down below. I am a novice at keeping ants, so if you're have a bit more expertise than I do, it'd be really appreciated. Right, let's move ourselves up here then. We got so much food now. Yeah, it's getting cray. So I'll update the speed ones while we're there. They're cheap enough. Oh, it's a big one. It's our first big one. Oh, that poor little dude out there just got a bit confused and then died. Oh well. Sacrificed himself. I keep saying him. Her. They're all female ants. All ants are female, apart from the small winged ones you see around the nuptial mating seasons, when they all go flying. The big winged ones, they're the queens, or the prospective queens. The little winged ones, they're the males who are looking to mate. But all other ants you see, all the ants you see walking around, they are all female. We've got these three down here, which I suspect then might be three big uns. And then we've got this big old corner. Where's it gone? Down there to tackle. Yeah, they are all large ones. So we'll bundle our army in there. Hopefully there'll be enough to take care of it. They've been bottlenecked, which is kind of good, kind of bad. It means we can only get so many attacking at once. But it also means that only one of these can... I was going to say only one of them can get their spray attack going, but then another one did. And they all seem to bundle in there together anyway, so... Proved me wrong, didn't you, lads? I don't have enough food to do that. Oh, should not have done that. Didn't realise we were so low on food. How many? Got 43 attackers at the moment. I think that's 2 of them dead, is it? And there goes the third one. So we get a bit of food from there, which will be nice. Get our stocks up a little bit. I probably won't build or upgrade anything else because I'm going to want to keep that food in our reserves for the final fight down here. So we'll wait for them to finish harvesting these off. There goes one of them. Can't quite get a... Oh, there we go. There goes the other 2. So we didn't get vast amounts of food from that. We've got a little... It's still ticking up and there's still some going. I think this guy's the last one with food, isn't he? So we'll just watch them make their way towards the food stores. I lost them. I might have dropped it in there. So I think we are okay now. 200 food should be enough. They only cost 5 to hatch per egg, I believe. Yes, I think that's right. So that gives us a few do-overs in terms of losing attackers. So, let's wander on down here. Now what are we thinking? A few little ones and a couple of big ones? Lots of little ones and one big one? There's a lot of exclamation marks. There's got to be quite a lot of goings on down here. Just lots of little ones. I think we should be absolutely fine then. You can see our food's ticking down a little bit each time we lose a worker and attacker. But I'm pretty sure we've got enough there. We've got 45 still, so yeah, we still got a full complement. There's probably around 30-ish there, I'd have thought. At least. Is that just one left down there now? Oh, he's already taken one back, but you don't care. There we go, all done. that is all of the objectives done. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Excellent. So that wasn't too bad, was it? I was kind of expecting a little bit, something a little bit harder there. Not going to complain too much, particularly after last week's atrocity. So what was that called? That was called Critters. Excellent. So I was going to try and squeeze 2 into one video, but we're up to 25 minutes now, so I think if it was 15 minutes, I probably would have gone for another one. 20, possibly, but I think 25, I'm probably going to leave that there. I'm aware the Ant videos can sometimes go on for a little bit, probably too long. Well, depends on your opinion, doesn't it? Not for me. I think I don't mind sitting down and watching an hour-long video, but I'm aware that you should try and keep your YouTube videos a little bit shorter where possible. So I think 25 minutes is quite reasonable. So I'm going to leave that there. Barring any major updates, I think next time we'll just continue working through these alpha demos and just to see what they're all about. And as I say, hopefully help Slug Disco out a little bit as we go as well, which would be wonderful. Always happy to help those guys out. So, hope you enjoyed that little look at Critters. If you did, please do click the like button. Really appreciate it, as always. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already. And obviously, if you feel like it, hit that little bell button as well to get notified about upcoming videos. Questions and comments, as always, leave them down below. I do love to hear from you guys, so leave me a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I see it. Now, we do stream every week at 6 PM UK time on a Wednesday. Streaming Assassin's Creed Odyssey at the moment. I'm aware that's a huge departure from Empires of the Undergrowth, but if you do want to see that, we only started it last week. Well, say this will be out on Thursday now, so there'll be two streams you've missed so far, but that's not too much. It's such a big game, you won't be all that far behind, so come along and say hello next time around. It'll be wonderful to see some of you there. Otherwise, I'll see you next time in Empires of the Undergrowth, and as always, thank you very much for joining me.